Welcome to All Things Mental,
a podcast that honors the messy, beautiful, nonlinear journey of healing. Because healing isn't about fixing what's broken.
It's about discovering what you need in this moment and learning to trust yourself along the way.
Here, we share stories, resources, and reminders that you're never alone on your path.
So take a breath, lean in, and remember,
you are not broken.
You're just becoming a more beautiful version of your higher self. We're your co-hosts, Michelle
and Leanna,
here to remind you that
you're never alone
on your healing journey.
This episode is titled All Things Media and How It Helped Our Journey. We are going to share a lot about the various points of media that we have listened to, watched, laughed with, cried with all along our journey, and how they weirdly helped us in a way where we didn't expect it to, maybe. But ultimately, these are the shows, the video games, the memes, the anything media related that have helped us on our journey. So, Michelle, do you want to share?
That was that was weirdly poetic and beautiful, and I got emotional. Like, genuinely, I love the way you put words together. For me, I think the first media that really helped me was a combination of like music and Disney movies. Like, I'm a huge Disney nerd. I make the joke all the time that my first love was Disney, and it's not really a joke. It helped me through like a lot growing up. I remember like watching those movies and, you know, getting false like expectations of like what the world is like, but at the same time, like, Disney is meant to like be like an escape from reality, and that's what those movies did for me when I was a kid, because that's what I needed. As I got older, the media changed, like music wise. I've talked about this on the previous podcast episode, so I'm only going to briefly mention it, but the song Skyscraper by Demi Lovato, that literally saved my life. But like other things that have helped me, big one for me is Supernatural. It's basically the gist of the show. It's about two brothers who travel the country and they save people. They're literally their family motto is saving people, hunting things, the family business. And they were like hunting demons and hunting like other supernatural beings. And it helped me because when I was watching that show, I was dealing with demons demons in my head. And I had the thought, okay, if the boys can handle a physical demon, I can handle a demon inside my brain.
Wow. That's really powerful. Tell me more.
Okay, so there's several episodes. Like, it's hysterical, it's funny, but for me personally, another reason why I absolutely love it is because of Jared Padalecki. He plays Sam Winchester. He's so openly talks about his mental health journey and how there had been times where he himself felt suicidal, and how Jensen Ackles actually helped him through. That's why they're still like really good friends to this day. They have organizations called Always Keep Fighting. I believe that's what it's called. I'll put the correct one in the show notes. But yeah, like, it's a show about family, and it kind of reminds you that family is more than just blood.
That's so real. That's so good. Oh, I love that so much for you. I'm not familiar with the show, but I'm like vaguely familiar with the title, and that's about it. And
I will be one of those people that will convince you to try to watch it. But like, for me, I always tell people that season 1 of Supernatural is basically like a pilot season. Like, I remember my roommate from when I did the Disney college program, she got me into it. And I was like, I usually give a show like 2 or 3 episodes, and then I'm like, I'm good. And she was like, no, you are watching the whole first season, because the whole first season is essentially a pilot season. They didn't think they were going to get another season. And they did, so you just have to power through season 1. And ironically, now when I go back and rewatch it, some of my favorite episodes are in season 1, because it's like, you know, doing like legends that we know of, like the White Widow, or, the story, just legends that we have here in the United States, of like, supernatural related stuff.
That's so cool. Wow. That's so awesome. I definitely am curious. Is the show graphic by chance? I'm just not very good with graphic things.
It's moments about being graphic, but like for the most part, it's pretty like hasty. Like it's like a horror movie or anything like
Mm.
that. Like it has its moments. And essentially the whole entire show is about Sam saving Dean, Dean saving Sam. And then they eventually like have other characters like that come into play. And there's like funny episodes. One of my favorite episodes is called French Mistake, where they're literally in our world. And there's this show called Supernatural, and Dean says, why would people watch our lives? Our lives suck. And Jared goes, yeah, a lot of people actually don't watch it, apparently, because it's huge now, but it wasn't huge back then. And Jared actually met his wife on the show, and they go to his house in this reality, and she walks in. She played a demon in the show. So like she walks up and gives Jared a kiss, even though it's technically Sam. And like when she leaves, Dean, makes a comment, "You married fake Ruby?" And it shows like pictures of them. And it's such a good show. It's about like family, it's about community. Like they've got an uncle in the show that isn't really an uncle, but like he was more of a father to them than their actual father was, because the show, basically the pilot episode, you learn why they're doing what they're doing. So basically their mom was killed by a demon when Sam was a couple months old. I think he was 3 or 6 months old. And dad basically is now out for revenge, and that became their life. Like Sam knew it since he was a baby, and Dean knew it since he was about 4 or 5. I forget how many years apart they are, but that's essentially the premise of the show. And when Sam graduates high school, he wants to go off to college, so him and dad get into a huge fight, and then dad goes missing. So Dean comes to get him at school and essentially says, "Dad's on a hunting trip and hasn't been home in a few days." And that's code for, "Hey, I need you, like, now." And then he goes on the trip with his brother. He gets back with no intention of continuing this journey. He goes to lie down on his bed, and his girlfriend was killed the same way by the same demon. So now Sam is out for revenge because they killed not only his mother, but the girl he planned on marrying.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's so
Yeah,
hard.
it's deep, but it's also funny. It's got every type of episode and character that you can think of. There's characters that you grow to love. There's characters that you're like, "Oh my God, I don't like you. When are you going to go away?" Like, like just your typical show stuff. Because one of my favorite things about TV shows is character development. Like one of my favorite characters from a show that I watch, Once Upon a Time, which isn't one that like, helped on my healing journey or anything, but like I hated the character Regina, but by the end of the series I loved her because she was the one that did the most character development.
Wow. Yeah. I never really understood character development until like I'm thinking of like Harry Potter, the Harry Potter series, Snape, how
Yeah.
his character development happened, and then like also in Avatar: The Last Airbender, like Zuko, like
I
he
love
has,
Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's such a good show. That's another one.
yes,
I didn't get into it till like a couple years ago, but I love that show so much.
it's
I
timeless.
love Zuko, the fire
Yeah.
king. Yeah, I'm in love with him. So beautiful, and I thought that he should have been with the girl in the show, not a.
Katara, yeah. There's a whole like
Yeah.
side series of people thinking that they should have ended up together, and
There's so much fan fiction for everything. Like in Supernatural, they put together Dean with this other character, Castiel, and I think they're called Destiel. And yeah, they like run with it in the show. Like they make fun of the show. There's an episode where they're like doing a musical, and they make fun of the show in the musical because they're doing a supernatural musical. And at one point, Dean looks at the camera and kind of like is talking to the fourth wall. It's so great.
That's amazing. I love when actors like do that because it's just like a little nod to like, hey,
Oh yeah,
we're
absolutely.
here too.
At one point, he quotes Rent, like when he's talking to like the actors, because they have to like put on the show so they can catch the supernatural being that they're after in this episode. And he quotes Rent. And one of the girls goes, "Did he just quote Rent?" And the girl goes, "Not enough for us to get in trouble." Like, that's hysterical.
Oh my God. That reminds me of just Robin Williams as like a healing entity of an actor from our youth and beyond. Like so many movies I saw, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, like my high school years were so formative. I mean, as they are for many of
Yeah,
us, but like in terms of like the healing journey and how like media shaped it for me is like there's a particular Robin Williams movie, Good Will Hunting,
I've
and
never seen that, but I've heard it's good.
it's a very good one.
Or maybe I have, I don't know. But like, there's just movies that you have to rewatch as an adult because you'll appreciate them more.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's those movies.
right. I watched these movies we had a senior class called Quest. I forget the acronym, like what it actually spelled out,
Mhm.
but like from my school, we did like different like themed social studies, humanities classes as our senior year. And then we would alternate those per cycle. Like one day would be like a triple period block in the cycle. And then it would be like other days you could do like an internship or like a senior project or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
so but in that class, I took it, obviously I took school seriously. I was a good student, but like I loved that class because they had such powerful media that we watched and read, like movies and stuff. Like I think that summer before school, I read The Alchemist. Like that was our summer reading book. So like that's a piece of literature that like still sticks with me in terms of like the quotes and things all about it. But like the Good Will Hunting, Robin Williams, just like his energy in any movie that he's ever been in or show or whatever I've watched him in, like his passing ultimately, I think, what was that in 2013 or 12?
2012 or 2013.
Yeah, that was really tragic.
I remember exactly where I was
Me
when I
too.
found out that he was no longer alive.
Yeah,
And I was depressed because,
yeah,
like, he was such a. It's proof that you don't know what's going on in somebody else's life and to just have courage and be kind.
literally.
Quote, like, just have courage, be kind, smile at somebody. Ask someone if it looks like they're sad. Hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? Like, not even that. Like, hi, how are you? Like, you don't got to ask them if they're okay. Hi, how are you? Just keep it like that. They might say, I'm fine, but they might realize, wait, if this random person cares, I'm enough.
Mm, that's so powerful. Wow, I love that. Yeah, because that's like the wound that I struggle with the most in terms of my upbringing and my adulthood, realizing like that I've always struggled with being enough, that I've always struggled with my self-worth. Like that's been the quintessential like healing moment of my existence, like
Yeah.
my Enneagram 2, like the helper type, like that's like my core wound. So like to acknowledge that he unfortunately took his life and then also just made such an impact with his media, like oh my god, it almost gives me chills, like literally, like
Yeah.
it's such a powerful like thought to have, just to like you said, just be kind, and you never know what someone's going through. And
That's what this world needs. It reminds me of the song, What the World Needs Now is Love, Love, Love. I don't know the exact name, but like I think they filmed it one time after like the Grammys. It was like an Emmy song. They got like Michael Jackson sings in it and a whole bunch of other people. And there's a lot of people in music that have had like a major impact on my life. But the one that literally saved my life was Demi Lovato.
yeah, totally. For me, that's anything Coldplay, like their
Mm.
music has transformed my heart like in so many ways. Just also seeing them live, like
Oh,
I've
that's
seen their
cool.
concert like
I've
four
seen Demi
times.
Lovato live a few times too. So.
Wow, yeah. It's such a different experience, right? To really be immersed in the arena, whether it's an outdoor arena or if it's an indoor facility, like to just be in that space with people that are singing at the top of their lungs that equally love the music. Like that is so powerful. Like I loved going to midnight premieres for like
Oh
Harry
yeah,
Potter or like The
Twilight.
Dark Knight. I think, yeah, I saw The Dark Knight. At midnight with friends and like the people, laughing and like just being in that like collective energy is so special and powerful. Like that has healed me. That has transformed me
Absolutely.
in ways that I can't even understand.
I saw a video the other day on Instagram. It was a Coldplay concert, I believe, and they were playing music from K-pop Demon Hunters, and everybody was singing along to that too. So it was like they brought together a group of fans for one show, and then they realized, oh, okay, we have a bunch of K-pop Demon Hunter fans here as well. And I was like,
That's so
that's
cool.
just so powerful. Music is so beautiful.
Yeah. I know. And my husband always makes fun of me because I'm not the best with like remembering lyrics.
Same.
I'm more about like the feeling of the song or like the energy behind it. Like and I'm a singer. Like I grew up with a musical background and everything. Like it's always been hard for me to memorize lyrics and everything, but to like know the feeling of the song and to like evoke that, like that is something that I guess naturally good at and something that I love to do. I just haven't sang in quite a bit. If anyone can tell, I'm a little nasally because I just got over being sick. But like I haven't been singing lately, in general, just in my life, like with various jobs that I've had over the years. Like I just haven't had the ability to work, be a part of a choir. I was loving music though for much of my existence. Like my mom would tell me when I was even in preschool how like I would sing in the bathroom. Like
That's
so
awesome. Yeah, like
yeah.
I'm a theater kid. I went
Oh
to
yeah.
like school, my undergrad is in theater studies, and I miss performing. Like I tell my husband all the time, I want to perform. I want to do like another like show. Like my dream role is to play Miss Hannigan in Annie. I would I
Oh,
would have so much fun with that role.
that's
I
so
would it
cool.
would be so much fun. But yeah,
Wow.
like I love music, and my dad's actually the reason why I became and got into theater, because I remember we were at church when I was a kid and he said to me, "Michelle, you have a beautiful voice." And I was like, "Okay." And I just kind of like ran with it, and yeah, like I mean, show choir and choir, it's the reason why I met my now husband. Like I met him in high school. I walked in, like, no joke, my first day at the school, I walked into the choir room. I saw him and he saw me. It was like a freaking scene from a movie. And he also remembers this. And he said, yeah, I had the same feeling. And I know, right?
Oh my
He's
God.
and then him and his other friends were all like, oh, I'm going to get her number first, like that sort of thing. And I remember him telling me that his friend got my number before he did, and he was upset about it. And I told him, well, the only reason why I got his number was so I could ask for yours. I'm like, hey, can you send me? Thanks.
That's so cute. I didn't know your story. Oh, that's so
We met in
sweet.
high school. 12 years passed after we dated for like a hot second, broke up, and then 12 years later we met back up here in Florida. Like I remember my best friend calling me and telling me he's the one that got away. And I'm like, sure, totally, I totally believe you. And then she wouldn't leave me alone until I text him. So I did. I took a screenshot, I sent it to her, and I was like, ball his court, and we've been together ever since.
Yay! Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so nice. Wow. Oh, how special.
But yeah, you had mentioned that music healed you. It's healed me over the years too. Like I remember putting on like concerts in my bedroom and pretending that I was Hillary Duff and like just performing her whole like Come Clean album.
Aw,
Yeah.
love that. Yeah. I remember hit clips. Like those were like the little um almost like mini cassettes that were like, barely an inch by an inch that you would put into these little like um ear the little thing that would connect to like an earpiece. You could just listen to like a little part of a song, or like I had a little like
Oh, yes, I
karaoke
know what
thing
you're
and a
talking about.
microphone.
At first, I was like, "What are you talking about? I'm older than you. What are you talking about?" And then yes, I remember that. Yeah, I remember my parents got me and my brother headphones the first time that we got them. They'd be like, "Michelle, did you hear me?" I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "So it begins. So it begins." But
Aw.
yeah, no, like, I mean, I'm sure our listeners have had the same type of experience where some show like helped them in a way they didn't expect. Like one of the things that we bonded over was Gilmore Girls.
Yes, yes. I love Gilmore Girls. Like, I'm not the best, like I haven't watched it 100 times to like know every single episode and
I've
know like every little ins and out.
maybe 4 or 5 times all the way through. My aunt watches it more than me, and I got her into it. And that was only a couple of years ago. I was watching season 7, and she kept asking all these questions and things that were answered in previous seasons or previous episodes. And I finally was like, sit down. And I just went back to season 1, episode 1. I'm like, here, we're just going to watch it. She's like, but you were almost done. I'm like, I've seen this show a lot. It's fine. I don't care.
Oh, yeah, that show, like, it came at a time like when I was living in Rhode Island for my first job, before my husband and I were married, and before he moved in with me. Um, it was when I was pretty much alone. You know, I didn't have any friends. I didn't know anybody. I had met my best friend and who would become my maid of honor, um, at my apartment complex. We both lived in the same complex. We met at a yoga night at the complex. Like that was super fun
Fun.
and serendipitous. Yeah. And she introduced me to Gilmore Girls, and I was like watching it. And I remember watching it through being like, Luke and Lorelai have to get together.
Yes.
And then they finally had their moment. And then like she was like, yeah, that's it. I was like, oh my God. Like
Anytime I get people into that show, they're like, if Luke or Lorelai don't get together, I'm blaming you. And I'm like,
it took so
okay,
long.
it's not my fault if they don't get together, but just keep watching. But like also too, like me and my friends will debate this all the time. Like whenever I go to my aunt's house, my aunt and my husband are team Logan. I am team Jess, and I have my reasons. And they won't back down. I won't back down. We know the debate is just like an ongoing thing, and we're not like actually like debating. It's just like something happens in the episode. Because like I said, my aunt watches it more than I do. So whenever we go over there, most of the time it's either that or Friends for my aunt. And like an episode will come on, like, ugh, I hate this episode, or oh, I really love this episode. And or one of them will say that, and then it'll lead to, yeah, but Logan did this, or Jess did that. Like we all are in agreement that Dean isn't the best character
Right.
at the
Yeah.
time for boyfriends. But like by the end of the series, I was like, I am team anybody but anybody for Rory that's not those 3. Because like in my opinion, we were talking about character development earlier.
Right.
She goes backwards, in my opinion.
Interesting. I honestly like it. It's been so long since I've watched it that I don't quite remember. Like I can't really comment adequately. But
you know who would be a really good person to have this conversation with? Chelsea.
Oh, she loves Reels too.
Yes, and she's team Logan, and me and her will always be like sending each other like reels in our DMs, and then like talking about it. Like we have ongoing debates as well about the show.
Oh my God! Wow, that's how you know a show is good, when it just has like this timeless element to it. Oh my gosh. There's this one scene that I can remember right now, and you might have to help me like put together the pieces, but I remember like filming it with my phone because I was like, I need to like save this. Now I'd have to search in my archives to see if I could still find the clip, but like the essence was like, I think Lorelai with Rory at her parents at the the grandparents' house, like having dinner, like their Friday night dinners. Like I think they were there, and it was just a moment where like I was like, wow, this is like mirroring my relationship with my mom, and how like it was strained, and how things were not always perfect, and like it just like hit home.
Yeah.
And like that was like a weirdly healing moment where I was like, wow, it's not just me. Like I'm not alone.
Absolutely. Like for me, it reminds me, the relationship that Lorelai has with her parents reminds me of the relationship that I have with mine, only not as estranged, because like I've mentioned before, I seem to like it's complicated, but I have a relatively good relationship with my parents. But like the relationship that Lorelai and Rory have is essentially the same kind of relationship I have with my aunt. I on accident call her mom all the time, and she tells me all the time, just don't do it in front of your mother. And I'm like, I won't.
Aw, that's so nice though. Um, Switching gears a little bit back to like my like high school movie example. A big movie that was like kind of like a coming of age awakening movie for me was Into the Wild. It was uh oh my god, I'm forgetting the main character's name. But he it's a movie where the main character it was based on a true story and a book that turned into like a movie.
Mhm.
And he graduated from college and he's like, society doesn't make sense, man. Like, this is not what we're meant to be doing. And I'm sitting there in high school like, I feel this deeply to my core. And like on the crux of me going to college and like
Yeah,
having this like path for you, only to realize that like, yes, that path worked for me in its own way, but like I've been shaped by so much more of life than just the school path and like the career and then the work and then the marriage and then the, you know, whatever. Like I've been a beat to my own drum like throughout my entire existence. But yeah, so not to like spoil the whole movie if no one's seen it, but like the soundtrack in there was just so phenomenal. I love it so much. And he goes on this adventure, like he literally like sells all his belongings, burns his social security card, and like goes into the wild and has this dream of visiting Alaska like on foot. Like basically he traverses the whole United States, gets to Alaska, and you know that without spoiling the end. But like but yeah, like it's just so powerful. Like he meets so many cool people. I've seen it so many times. Like it's one of those movies I just keep coming back to when I like need a life reset.
okay.
Because it like brings me back to that like high school time also where I was just like questioning life. And I feel like now that I'm 30 and I have this like wider lens of life and like I was fighting society for so long in my 20s, like fighting this world that I was in that I was just like, I don't know. I don't know if it's the right world for me type of thing.
Yeah.
And ultimately like coming home to the fact that like I have to create a life worth living. Like I keep saying as like a theme on this podcast, like in my own mental health
What's your
journey,
life
like
right now?
yeah,
What's the
like
thing your
living
life right
life. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Like it's just been so powerful to like acknowledge that like I can be on this path and make it my own. Like it doesn't have to be the path that my parents set for me. I can be in parallel with what they've wanted and it still can be mine, you know? Like it
That's
doesn't have to be
cool.
one of those,
That's deep. I need
yeah.
to watch this movie because I can't even think of a movie that like has touched me like that much. Like I can
Yeah.
think of movies that like I'll rewatch. I can think of movies that I put it on when I need a good cry, all of those sorts of things. But like I can't really think of a movie that like had that much of an impact on me. Like my favorite movie of all time is The Holiday, but like that didn't heal me. It's a really cute movie.
I love that movie too. It's a good one. It's a good, especially we both have our Christmas backgrounds on. Like if anyone's
Yeah.
not watching this on video, you could I have a blue
No,
Christmas
until
tree and
Christmas
Michelle
when we're
has like,
recording this, which is
yeah.
crazy.
I know. I know. Oh my God. But yeah, no, it's super fitting that like we're able to just like reflect on the year and like our life at this point, you know, like in the media that we've watched and consumed and ooh, you know what we wanted to talk about also was just like video games and things that have like healed us. Like I remember during the pandemic, I came back to like a childhood video game that I wanted to play when I was a kid and I played a lot. Like it was one of my first like video games and if anyone knows it, let me know. It's called StarCraft. It was this like battle game, what strategy? It's a strategy game where you're like building a base and like attacking other bases and like building up your army basically. Um, and that is it's just a cool game. It's very like not kid friendly.
So
But
you
like
played as a child, which honestly sounds about right.
well, so my dad tells me this story how like when I was a kid, I beat all the kid games like putt putt and like other little like pajama Sam. Like those were my favorite little games as
You
a
ever
kid.
played Kirby's Avalanche?
No, but I love the Kirby games though.
Do you have a Switch?
I do.
Okay, so what kind of Switch do you have?
I have Switch 1.
Okay, I'll have to ask my husband when we get off, if Kirby Avalanche is on there because I know that like they have like how like they have like the online games or whatever, like it's like old school Nintendo games.
Yes.
Kirby's Avalanche is in there, so if you have that, you have it.
Okay. Yes, I believe we
The game that
do.
he played when he was a kid and he loved it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I also played all the Donkey Kong games. Those were like a big part of my childhood. Um so coming back to those, my point in sharing this is
Yeah.
that coming back to those games as an adult and being like, wow, this is like healing like my inner child, like that has been really powerful and special to like acknowledge. Like so yeah, with the StarCraft game, my dad bought me that when I was a kid because he's like, yeah, you beat all the kid games. So I asked the guy at Staples, like, what game to buy that's a strategy game for my daughter. And it's like a boy game.
But hey, you know what? No, it's not. It's a game. Like there's there. I feel like there's no such thing as boy toys or girl toys. But like, I mean, everybody's
Right.
got their opinion and their perspective. But like for me, in the pandemic, I remember it was right around when me and my now husband had just moved in together. And he came to me and he was like, I want you to play video games with me. What do I have to buy to get you to play? And I said, without skipping a beat, oh, Kingdom Hearts. Hands down. It's a combination of Final Fantasy meets Disney. And it's so much fun.
Sounds like right up your
And
alley.
it is. And I remember him buying it. And then like a couple days later, I'm playing and he comes over and he's like, hey, babe. I'm like mid-boss fight, bro. Okay. And I pause it and I was like, yeah. And he's like, we need to come up with like a schedule or like something because I love that you're playing, but I miss playing the game. And I put the controller down because I was like in the middle of a boss fight, like about to like, take care of business. And I was like, you wanted this. And he's like, I know, but I want to be able to play. I'm like, okay, so what do you propose? I'm like, I propose we come up with a schedule or the Switch is on sale. I'm like, yeah, do that. And then I unpaused it in the bus. Like that game, I always wanted to play it. And I remember when me and my brother shared an Xbox. I don't know. I think you can because now you can get Kingdom Hearts on like the Switch and all of that. But like we have it on the PS. I've played Kingdom Hearts 1. I played Kingdom Hearts 2. I've played 3, but I haven't finished it because every time I go back in to finish it, I'm like, oh, I remember why I stopped. It's not as good as the other two. And of the 3, even though there's technically several other games, my favorite is Kingdom Hearts 2. The one thing I don't like is the 3-hour, no joke, 3-hour like training of how to play the game. Okay.
Oh.
And you're not even playing as the main character. You're playing as another character. And then I was an adult when I played this for the first time. So I realized a little bit close to halfway through those 3 hours, oh, this is the main character. My roommate at the time, they played it when they were a kid. And I was like, I'm sorry, it took you this long to figure out that that was the main character. And they were like, Michelle, I was 12. Okay. I had a child brain. You have an adult brain. Cut me some slack. And I was like, I guess. But then I was talking with a coworker and she was like, no, I agree with your roommate. When I was 12, I had no clue that was the main character till they revealed it. And I was like, I guess so.
Aw.
But yeah, it's such a healing game because it's It's about you get to go into Disney World. Like you get to go to Nightmare Before Christmas and hang out with Jack. You get to go to Pirates of the Caribbean, hang out with Captain Jack Sparrow. You get to go to Frozen, hang out with Anna and Elsa. Like yeah, it's so much fun.
Wow.
Like it's a blast and a half. And there's apparently a fourth one coming out, but they like have been saying that for years. But like the characters look really, really realistic. Like CGI has gotten too good.
Yeah, no, I totally know what you mean. Speaking of Anna and Elsa, the Frozen series has healed my inner child in other ways that I didn't expect. Like, I remember watching Frozen 1 in 2013 when it came out. And, like, yes, I loved the movie, but, like, I didn't really appreciate it until the second one came out.
Yeah.
Because that was the only movie besides, like, Harry Potter, like, being, like, my favorite movies as a kid. That was the only movie that I remember being like to my husband, I was like, can we see it again? And we went and saw it the second time in the same week.
For me, I love Frozen 2. Frozen 1 is okay. Frozen 2, in my opinion, is way better.
Totally.
And it's very, very, very healing. I also feel like it's very like it's queer. Like there's a lot of like, for instance, the song she sings when she's going across the thing, and like I don't remember what the song is, but she's on the horse. Like that just feels like a queer awakening. Not that like, you know, she's queer, but like it's been very empowering for people in the queer community. I know that. But like for me, the movie that did that for me, that I like, Disney's great, but Disney has gotten not so great over the years in my opinion. And the last time I feel they did a movie where I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, was Encanto. I remember watching it with my roommate before they were even my roommate. We were sitting on the couch. When it ended, I said, can we watch it again? Like I had never said that before in my adult life, but I was like, can we watch it again? And they're like, yeah, sure. So we literally just, you know, went and hit restart and watched it again because we were watching it on Disney Plus.
Wow. That's so awesome.
There's something like so healing and so beautiful about that movie. Like that movie, the villain is family trauma and family like issues. Like Abuela is just set in her ways.
Yeah. I totally remember. I think I've only seen that movie once only once, but the music, I mean, phenomenal. Like they nailed it with that one. But like, yeah, I now remember like what you're saying with the family trauma. Like, yeah, so relatable. Like, unfortunately, relatable.
Unfortunately, relatable, but relatable. Another movie that really helped me was Inside Out.
I love
that. Yes. I love that movie so much. Like, I remember going to see the first one, and I turned to my aunt when I was over and like discussed is my spirit animal. Because like that was like before, I don't remember when Inside Out came out, but like I don't remember if I believe it was before I started my healing journey. Because that was before it was literally right before I started my healing journey. But like when Bing Bong sacrifices himself, I still get teary-eyed watching that scene.
Yeah.
Like, take her to the moon for me. And I'm like, okay, I'll take her to the moon. Like, it's such a cute scene.
I know. I remember the Disney short in the beginning. Was it Lava? I think.
I know what you're talking about, Lava, but I don't know if it was before that one or what one.
Okay. It was before one of the movies that I saw with my husband in the theater. I forget which one. But like weeping to that. Because I'm like, I love you, like to my husband, you know? So like, I was like, I love you so much. Like, yes, I love you. Like, we played that at our wedding during our cake cutting ceremony.
Adorable. I love that so much.
There was another Disney short that I really liked. That was before one of the movies again.
Feast. I love that one. It's about a dog that like gets adopted. And like, you know, he loves all the food, and then he gets annoyed because his owner gets a girlfriend, and the girlfriend starts eating healthy and is like, you know, trying to get him to eat healthy. And then they break up and he goes back to like eating, but the dog notices how upset he is. So he takes off and goes to where the girl works. And then they wind up getting married, and like having like a kid, and the kid winds up being the one feeding the dog in the end.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cute. I'll have to watch that.
Yeah.
It's the one I'm thinking of. It was like called Bow or something. It was like little bow buttons. Or like little dumplings. Like that also
Yes,
made
yes,
me
yes,
cry.
yes, 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 yes. I've seen them.
Yeah. That also made me cry because like I don't really remember why or what. I have to rewatch it and it probably would make me cry again. Probably not the best idea with already a stuffy nose, but
It'll help. It'll help clear it, girl.
figure it out. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, watching that, like just feeling like I'm loved and I matter, like that is just so special. And like I just love how these medias like really are meant to touch an emotion, you know?
That's why
Um,
it exists. Like entertainment is there to entertain you, but it's also meant to like touch you and heal you. Like the
yeah.
Wicked movies, like I'm a huge fan of like musical theater, and the first musical I ever saw on Broadway was Phantom of the Opera, and literally obsessed. But like even like live theater does something to you. I remember the first show I ever saw that I was literally talking to my dad about this, I think at Thanksgiving, or it might have been like the time before that or on the phone. I don't really know. But like we were talking about The Promise, which is a show we saw in Branson, Missouri. And it was like basically like the story of Jesus's life and how, you know, from when he was born to when he died. And I remember my jaw dropping, and my dad goes, I truly believe that that's the show that made you fall in love with theater and made you want to pursue it. And I was like, I was taken back by that. And I was like, yeah, you have a point. Like, I loved that show.
Aw, that's so nice. Wow. Oh, so powerful. Uh, I'm curious from our listeners if there's any piece of media or even like meme. Like, I mean, I could think of all the vines that like
My
I still
husband
quote.
jokes that he's a meme king. He literally has like a folder in his phone, no joke, that says like meme comebacks or whatever. So it's like when someone sends something, he can find it quickly. Like the other day, we were just chilling on the couch and someone had texted something. And I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm looking for the perfect meme. It literally has a folder called meme uh, comebacks or whatever it's called.
That's great. My husband always finds the best memes too. Like
Yeah.
they just live rent free in his ADHD brain, and I'm like, okay, that's part of our life. Like it is what it is.
Anytime that our roommate needs a meme, they will message the group chat and be like, I need you to find me this or make me this, because he's also really good at making them.
Yes. Oh my God, so
He's a
good.
Snapchat, but I mean, still.
Hey, you gotta use your resources, you
Yeah,
know?
use the resources.
Aw, that's so great.
Yeah. But
Well,
yeah,
I'm
I
sure
definitely want our listeners to like comment and let us know what is there any shows that we mentioned that you have watched? Did they heal you? Was there a show we didn't mention that healed you? Because I'm sure, because as we mentioned, like everybody's healing journey is different, and this podcast is just here to help not only you but also us, the host, just figure out this crazy life and get through the healing journey.
agreed, because it's not linear. It keeps going, and we always are learning. Like you just never like, and we've said this before on another episode, like how we don't know what's coming. Like some of the best media that we have yet to experience is in production right now.
Yeah.
Like
I've seen
literally.
some of the best shows I've ever seen on Broadway were me just going to the city and being like, okay, that one sounds good. Like I saw one once called, oh my goodness, A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. Okay. It's about this guy who's like 13th in line to being like, I don't know, king or duke, but he's got to like kill all these other people. So he decides to. And the part of 8 characters is played by one actor. Like I remember turning my best friend and being like, "Is that?" And she was like, "Yeah, it is." And it's just I love live theater. I'm actually going to see a Broadway show on Saturday in New York. I'm so excited. It's going to be my husband's first time seeing one, and I really want to watch it, but at the same time I kind of like want to watch his reaction, but I know he'll tell me, "Watch the show."
Aw, you guys have so much fun. That's gonna be great.
It will be great. I'm excited.
Cool. Well, I'm sure we
Until
could go
next,
on and on.
we
Yes.
could go on and on. Yes, we could
Because there's just so much media out there, and there's, like I said, there's more to come, and that's why we got to stick around for this life, because we have yet to experience all of the amazing things. Like,
exactly. And there's
life
so
is so
many
valid.
more that I just thought of that I could totally continue talking about. So maybe we'll do a part 2.
Sounds good. Okay. Thanks, Michelle. I appreciate you,
I appreciate
listeners,
you.
and appreciate you, Michelle. And I just love this conversation as always. I'm so grateful to be here with you.
Yes. Same.
All
Until
right.
next time.
Sounds good. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of All Things Mental.
Please follow us on social media at All Things Mental Podcast to let us know how this episode helped you on your healing journey.
Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts so that you don't miss an episode.
And remember,
You are not broken
you're just becoming a more beautiful version
of your higher self.